Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people and my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is a one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, where today we are covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from January the 11th, 1992. Hope you had a great 4th of July. Happy birthday month, Murica. I'm sitting here with Doc. Hard Body Harper should be joining us shortly because he told us he was going to be ready early, but guess who's later than both Doc and I? And before I throw it to Doc, big shout out to Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Mike Shorty, Joe Ice, good old Justin. Thank you for your generous support on Patreon each and every month. And thank you for being the sponsors of the show. And that noise you're hearing in the background that I will not edit out is Harper, who did join us late a second ago as he's getting his headset on as we speak. Well, let me go to you, Doc, first. How are you?
I'm doing great, as always. July the 4th, fireworks are overrated. Hey, man, I see a lot of Omnibus and Best of and Ask Anything podcasts going around because we're near a holiday. Instead, you and I are turning up the volume, aren't we, Mike?
That's all we do around here, Bubba.
That's all we do. We got the big JYD Dark Side tonight. You're going to be covering that with the Goon Squad. You and I are coming back in 2 days and doing the next Saturday night. We got a Clash next week that all three of us are going to cover. We need to talk about that off air after the show. But Harper, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
That's right. We all are.
I'm sitting here watching Jaws 3.
Oh,
remember that?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It's this fish head that's supposed to be in 3D, I guess, just floating.
Yeah, that movie's terrible. It's terrible. It's a terrible.
You should
be
watching. You should be watching the Tiger Driver 91 on a loop so that you can learn better moves.
Oh, but fuck, Luke Gossett Jr. must need money, huh? Fuck.
Hey man, those guys make those movies so then they can go make whatever else they want to go make.
And all these movies, none of them bombed. They're all successful. I mean,
they're coasting off the brand.
I mean, the third and fourth one were what the fuck?
Dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dog shit.
Fucking Jaws.
Jabroni shark.
Just letting y'all have fun over there. Hey, real quick. We don't have any new patrons this week, so become a patron. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. You know, Doc's over here talking about all the great content that's being kicked out, and he's not wrong. All these Dark Side of the Rings we've been doing. We got a Clash coming up.
Those shits don't record themselves.
Lots of stuff available on Patreon, 400 plus exclusive shows, including the video versions. And as we record this, it is the night that they're going to air the JYD episode. You know, Doc, we talked about the Matt Borne one, and it's up on Patreon right now, everybody. Man, it hit me after recording that, like more than normal, because we didn't really stress this, although we usually do on, especially the Tales from the Territories. I need an uncut, unedited version of all the footage. And let me tell you why. That Connie woman that the daughter, Matt Borne's daughter, accused her of foul play.
Nurse
Cratchit or whatever her name was from Memphis. Bruh, I need the unedited version of everything she said, because you know they interviewed that woman for hours on end, and
God, that's a punishment. Never mind.
Yeah, she looked rough, huh?
Bro, what is with y'all and attacking these old women's looks?
I'm just saying, both of them look fucking rough.
Yeah, Doc says the same thing every time.
Invest in a regular nighttime moisturizing routine, and maybe you won't look like the backside of a alligator's ass.
Yeah, they all look like fucking like old cowboy boots.
Jesus Christ.
Have some fucking pride in
They're
yourself.
old women. What do you want them to look like?
I don't know.
People who give a shit.
Say, you're always at home at Dot's Diner. Remember that, Mike?
Yes.
He has no clue, but he's going to say yes anyway.
No. I mean, the reference, I get it, but these women are not like 20, 30-year-old women anymore. Why?
So?
Doc, why?
Adam DA's wife and his ex-wife didn't fucking look like the bus driver from South Park.
That's not what Doc said.
But these women look like they gargle battery acid and shit.
You know what, bro? Y'all just can we stay on focus here on what
we can't. We're talking about? These sweat hog wildebeest are invading our TV. We can't.
Okay, all right. You just want to be a prick. That's all it is to it.
Come on,
but I need the unedited version of everything that woman said, because here's the thing: if the daughter's going to accuse this woman of basically killing her father,
she needs some equal time.
Maybe not even equal time. I just need more than, if you really boil it down to it, what did they air? Maybe 5 minutes of what she said? Like, if you really think about it, if they talked to that woman for, let's say they talked to her for 5 hours, I don't know. Let's say they were at her house for a day, 8 hours, right? And she talked for 5 minutes. Bro, they could spin that any way they want. Now, they didn't try to make her look like a killer, but Doc and I had a very interesting discussion about the accusations being made on Nurse Cratchit, or whatever her name was. Connie.
Nurse Cratchit.
On a more pleasant note. But so you can listen to that along with all the other Dark Side of the Ring reviews we've done. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Plus, like we said, we got a Clash coming up, the NWA Power shows, the ECW shows, all available on Patreon. tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Doc, on a more pleasant note, we'll do the 5-star review in a second. I need to play something because this got a lot of traction once I put it on YouTube. A lot of traction from our listeners. I have been hearing from listeners in the last 24 hours since I put this out there of what we said, and everybody was popping. So here it is. Harper killed me in this.
What? No.
Hey, I got an idea. Let Half Pint do it.
Oh, God.
He blocked. Okay, so Duck Bozard, Half Pint, and a few others went at him when this happened on January 18th, and he blocked all of them. He blocked them. He straight up blocked all of them.
So here's the thing.
Dude, Half Pint's like the size of his pinky.
Say, look, unblock our people.
Let them go.
I don't.
Like
we're going to be Moses here.
That was in Russia. Let fucking Half Pint go.
We're like Moses here. Let our people go, and we will.
Bro, I can't tell y'all. First off, Half Pint's messaging me that night. Bruh, that's great. That's great. And Harper, every time I hear Harper go, let Half Pint go, I pop. I erupt. He blocked. Dude, he's blocking anybody who went at him about that.
Did he block you?
No, he didn't block me. Well, last I checked, it was a few days ago, but it's just hilarious.
I'm starting to see why he washed out in the wrestling business.
I don't know, because he was on Conan and Disco's podcast where you hear like he's, I mean, you kind of agree with him.
I don't
even know what he talks about for me to say I agree or disagree.
Right.
That's nice.
I mean, I do know. Let me say this.
I'm going to disagree out of principle now.
A year or two ago.
I stand with the Army, though.
A few years ago, he was talking about the pay in WWE and like just different pay issues with certain talents
he said that
versus
was
him.
Bullshit. He didn't say that the mid card guys should get paid as the main eventers.
He said he didn't say that now?
Right. He's saying like, he didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Well, I could have swore I heard him say it, but if he says he didn't, I don't care enough to argue, to be honest. Anyway, but let have Pint go. All right. Doc, you said you had a follow-up with it too, or no?
What do you mean? Like I didn't run into Ryback out in the streets. He'd have been in trouble. I'd have had to stretch him. No, I just wanted to read. Apparently a lot of our listeners have good ideas about things. I want to read something Ben Martin said. Is Ben a listener of the show?
Ben's a longtime listener, BTT Hall of Famer. Harper, you got to listen to this. This is great.
He said, this Ben fella says, upon hearing about the Ryback situation, I have thought of a way to bring a halt to this. Send Harper on his show and have the D-Man go on posing as Menace. By the time they will get through with him, he won't know whether to wind his ass or scratch his watch.
That's great. Send Harper and D-Man, but D-Man supposedly being me. Oh, come on, bro. Oh, Harper. You ever met Bruno? Oh, what do you think about Bruno?
What do you think about Bruno? He's like, Bruno? Who's that?
Who's that?
No, come on.
I tell you what, isn't Ryback's name Skip? His like first name, real name, shoot name?
That's what because on Conan's podcast, Conan's like, I'm not calling you Skip. I'm calling you Ryback.
So imagine Darren goes on a show. Darren goes on a show. Tell me something, Skip. What'd you think about Calloway? Best gimmick ever, huh?
Skip. That can't be his actual given name.
I think it is. Brian.
Because who would name their kid Skip?
No, it's not Skip. It can't be Skip.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Nobody's name is Skip.
Yeah, Skippy, like the peanut butter.
Skippy Bayless.
Now you're gonna make me look it up.
Now you're gonna. Well, I mean, what y'all think about the submarine imploding?
Oh, Jesus.
I think if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Pretty much.
His name is Ryan.
You don't mess around with deep sea, man. That's a dangerous place.
Yeah, for real.
His name is Ryan Allen Reeves.
See,
Ryan. I thought I was close.
Doc, do you have a 5-star review for us?
I do. It's from some fella named Duck 112474.
Oh, he left the that's got to be Duck Bozard. Fucking. But please
Guaranteed
read it. Hey,
not to bust, combust, nut, whatever. 5 stars. And let me tell you, this is how a listener needs to do it. Find a way back into the system to continue to add reviews. Allow me to once again see. I can't. He put again in his review.
He ain't breaking kayfabe on it.
Yeah. Oh, allow me to once again sing the praises of the best wrestling podcast in the biz today. I don't care if the guys are talking about how boring the Z-Man is, how ridiculous Arachne-Man was for a gimmick for Brad Armstrong, the utter ineptitude of Van Hammer or Jake the Snake using a snake to do the Jaworski on that atrocious Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view. I'm always entertained by BTT. Deep State Harper for president. Be blessed and be a blessing. Ducky in JCP country. He must have climbed out the holler and found a place with internet and left that.
Oh, they got internet in JCP territory. What'd you say, Harper?
What happened to the Amazon thing you used to always push? That's still a thing?
Nope.
No,
Kayfabe, brother. Ixnay on the Xnay.
Okay.
we have severed our ties with that particular business.
Oh, because I was wondering that the other day. I was like, I just used to say classy Freddie Blassie. Yeah, down. I was like, I haven't heard you talk about that in forever.
I thought you were about to break out into a Lance imitation again. Michael Hayes fought on a program.
It's Michael P.S. Hayes versus the Iceman and Will
And
Rogers.
Mr. Ebony.
And
Mr. Ebony ran in.
And this is a great match.
He was telling me on the last World Class show we did, Doc, ringside, they used to have those like by the announcer's table. Well, it wasn't really an announcer's table, but the table that was ringside. They used to have those like red wooden chairs in the sportatorium. And those chairs are from like the 40s and 50s. He's got 4 of them at his house.
What?
Yeah.
Gross.
And so in one of the
awesome.
it is actually. That's what I'm saying to y'all, making fun of him. So I'm like, he's like, yep. So one of the wrestlers, I don't remember who, grabs this red chair and is in the ring. He goes, yep, I got that red chair right there in my room, right there in my house.
I've always
and I
wondered
said,
what happened with all that crap that was in there when it was just vacant.
Yeah, he could tell you. Well, some stuff went to the Hall of Fame that was in Wichita Falls that who knows what the hell happened to a lot of that stuff.
What the fuck, dude?
What happened there?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I know some speculation, but I couldn't tell you if stuff was retrieved and all that stuff. Lance could tell you more specifics. But he's got 4 of those red wooden chairs that are like basically 70 years old.
That's crazy, man.
That's nuts. He's got 4 of them.
My cousin has seats from the Astrodome.
And that sunbuck's been down for a while, so.
Yeah.
And they built that in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah. Before the Superdome, yeah.
You don't realize it till you know when they first built the Astrodome, it actually had real grass in it.
Yeah.
And they had like the ceiling was supposedly like it would be like the sun would come through it, but I guess the grass didn't work. So that's when they ended up just replacing the grass with AstroTurf. At least that's what I
remember hearing something where the Superdome, they were going to put grass in it and make an artificial weather pattern to make it rain inside the Superdome. I read
that dumb shit in the Times-Picayune too, like 30 years ago. Yeah. I'm like,
Storm for the X is going to go in there and just make it rain.
Yeah, what are we doing here? We got Harper weather freaking systems now where we can.
What are we doing?
I heard that. Like, no, that I don't know where that came from. It was in the Times-Picayune down there at one point.
So
I read that.
True.
Yeah, like Times-Picayune, sure. Yeah, I read that. I don't know how they figured that. I mean, they did at one point. What? They did at one point talk about putting like grass in there, like and just like replacing it constantly, like so that they would have a grass surface. But
I guess you could put maybe fucking UV lights up. You think that would work?
I think it'd be hot as camel piss in there.
The NFL makes enough money that every game they have ought to be played on grass.
That is true.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to talk some wrestling?
Not really. I guess.
This is all right. I mean, we're past Starcade.
Long.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
Well, let's get started.
Yeah, that's right.
We're talking January 11th of 1992 and whatnot here. Jim Ross opens the show. The front is kind of chopped off. We see Bagwell being beaten down. Then Jim Ross welcomes us into center stage. This was actually taped January 6th of 92. The next 2 weeks, including this one, are from center stage. Jim Ross runs down the card and tells us everything we'll see. And we go straight to Stunning Steve Austin versus Marcus Bagwell. And they're going to basically have the TV title match right here to see if Bagwell can win it. So, Doc, I think we should get to this first matchup right away. And, yeah, the quality of the video is flipping.
Can you fix that? Can you fix that for us?
The tracking? You want me to adjust the VCR? I don't know what you want me to do here.
Go stand in a corner and turn the fucking antenna.
Hold that antenna in one hand and then dial it in with the UHF with the other.
Yeah, with that big dial thing. What the fuck was that for?
Dialing in shit.
Sir, this is cable.
Oh, sorry.
Bro, do you remember? You know what you just made me think of when you said that? Remember that story Bolin told years ago when he said him and Cornette plugged in the phone line into the back of their TV some kind of way, and they thought if they did that and dialed the phone number to like Memphis or wherever territory, they would get the signal from that that territory. Do you remember that story?
I do not.
Yes. He told it on like the Cornette show years ago. Like, you did what? Yeah. But people do. People. Needless to say, it did not work. There was not a TV signal going through the TV line.
I used to kind of turn it and kind of halfway get one of the Baton Rouge stations.
Oh, from your house?
Yeah, and I would watch because when I get back from catechism, I could watch it. For some reason, the fucking Ninja Turtles came on an hour later on the Baton Rouge channel, so I could still catch the Ninja Turtles.
After church, you mean?
Yeah, and then he used to have fucking Dino Riders on. I used to watch that cartoon.
Have a little Captain Crunch and watch you some cartoons.
Yeah. Speaking of Captain Crunch, fuck, that's what happened to them. Going down to the fucking Titanic.
Jesus Christ.
Oops, all berries. Oops, all two.
My God. Doc, let's go to Bagwell versus Austin. What do you have as Harper?
Implodes over there.
Oh my God. What the hell?
So Austin's the vet here. He's calling this, right?
I would assume.
Yeah. I need Bagwell to stop blowing his hair out like that.
Well, it's 1992.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
He's a young, good-looking guy.
Yeah. Ladies
it's almost an afro.
No, it's not almost an afro. It's just a puffed out straight hair. He's got all kind of hairspray in it. I mean, dude, you know how much hairspray he's gotten at? The way it's not moving? Like, I mean, he's in a wrestling match, and that helmet head is just... It might move a little, but it bounces right back into shape. Well,
talking about bad hair, Nick Patrick's is no prize either.
It's fine. I mean, what do you want me to say? It looks fine to me. Got a nice mullet, fluffy mullet.
Yeah, you like that, Harper? Nick
Looks
Patrick's
beautiful.
Hair. Yeah, luscious.
Fuck, he does look like a fucking... like some guy from a truck stop.
What else from this match, Doc?
It's a little clunky, like that drop kick wasn't, smooth, but these guys are getting after it, so it was all right. They made it work.
Yeah,
let me just say this. Bagwell's 22.
Damn.
He's a kid.
And Austin's 28.
Jesus Christ.
He's a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, 22 and 28. Youngsters. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, but in reality, Austin's new to the business too. I mean, he's
for real.
You don't have that long right now. I mean, he's still technically a rookie because in wrestling you're a rookie for more than a year. But yeah, so this is for the TV title. So TV title match only really get 10 minutes. It does go to a time limit draw, but that's not the end of it though, because when the bell does ring, the Dangerous Alliance hits the ring to beat down Bagwell. Sting, Ron Simmons, and Dustin Rhodes come out to rescue Bagwell, though, and they pull him from the ring. So they kind of make the save on him, which is good. But I thought, this is the way I look at a match like this is Austin's been your champion now for several months. I mean, he's really held his TV title for quite some time. And Bagwell's still new, and I mean, it gives him some credibility if he's going to go in there and go time limit draw with Austin, who's your champ. What do you think, Doc?
I thought the draw made sense, and then them hitting the ring afterwards made sense. I thought this was fairly well done.
Yeah, this was good stuff.
Get him.
Yeah, they beat him down for a minute until Sting and
kick him like a dog.
Dustin and Ron Simmons pull him out. Technically, Sting does. Boy, there's a Sting promo on this. I can't wait to get to.
Good job.
Yeah, I can't wait either. It's going to be the best.
It is. It is. Let's keep moving. After that, we go to the WCW magazine segment with Eric Bischoff. There's a promo from Harley Race. It's pretty meat and potatoes with him putting over Luger and Luger's workouts. Then they show a replay of Taylor splitting from the York Foundation and him slamming down that word processor. And then I'm going to go to a promo that Terry Taylor's going to cut. If you just give me a second, I'll get to it. There it is. Here we go.
That's wrestling. I waited for this to give me the answer. This is what I think of the computer, and this is what I think of the York Foundation. I'm on my own. Boy, people are saying to me, Terrence, what's going on with you and the York Foundation? Well, a year ago, Miss York came up to me and offered me a tremendous amount of money to join the York Foundation, be the charter member. Well, at the time, I needed somebody with some connections. I needed somebody with some stroke, and I maybe just needed somebody. Well, I got the direction I needed. I channeled it the right way, and I started winning match after match after match. People said, hey, take a look at Terrence Taylor. He's doing okay. Then after a while, I start looking over to the computer. Maybe she's not looking at the computer. She's paying attention to something else, and I'm starting to lose matches. I'm looking over at her to try to get information to win a match. So I'm getting beat on. She's over there looking around. Well, I'm telling you right now, I had enough of that. I'm a smart enough guy by myself to see that I don't need Miss York. I don't need anybody. And fans, you may think because I quit the York Foundation, I'm going to be one of your favorites. Get a life. I'm Terrence Taylor. I don't need you. I don't need the York Foundation. All I need is myself. I'm the tailor-made man.
I still think he's well rehabilitated, and this is just the next step. Doc, your thoughts?
I thought Harley was good before him. He was good there. He's staying heel.
Harley is going to be really good in a second. That's why I didn't play this first one.
Yeah, let's go to Harley.
Well, it's coming up in the two segments.
There's another one. Yeah.
But first,
and, man, okay, so we're in the Egg Dome. We're at the the January Super Show that they always have every year. And Vader's at the height of his powers, and they roll him out against El Gigante. That's not gonna work for me, brother.
Imagine Elegante in Japan.
Watch what Vader does him, Harper.
Yeah, it makes him a baby face.
He's gonna set him on fire.
No, just watch. He's got the helmet. He's
breathe it in, bitch.
So, like Doc said, that's when Vader. Like Doc said, after Taylor's promo, they go to the Tokyo Dome and they show Vader versus Elegante. And yeah, I'm with you, Doc. Like, Vader's got to wrestle Elegante at the Tokyo Dome. So the best part about that, though, is the last thing we see is the smoke being blown in Elegante's face. And Harley's going to say something about that I'm going to play in this next promo. But how bad did you feel for Vader there, Harper?
Well,
fucking
bad, and JR called that a fatal blow.
Oh boy,
Do we have a problem with that?
How much longer has he got here?
I don't know, but a fatal blow would kill him.
Well, he's Elegante.
Oh, good point. Never mind.
It's hard to take anything with him seriously.
It is, and how much did WCW have to pay the Japanese to do this? So they're like, really?
Well, I don't know. I mean, because Vader's in it, so like, Yeah, I don't know.
But it couldn't have gone more than like 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Somebody out there seen this full match, and it ain't us.
No, I saw more than
I don't want to see it.
No.
But I am curious to know how long it lasted.
2 poots.
Yeah, 2 poots. All right, well, let's keep moving. The Steiners are taking on Buddy Lee Parker and Pat Rose in the next match. Yes, Buddy Lee Parker and Pat Rose. Doc, this was a pretty quick one. What did you have from this one? I got one timestamp before I go to the finish.
Well, it's good to see the Steiners back together. But what I noticed in this match is that half the suplexes and/or moves, I'm not sure that the Pat Rose and Buddy Lee Parker had any hand in helping them work. It was just, we're going to do this now.
I mean, but those two guys are pros, so I'm sure they just went
Well,
with it.
yeah, but it's time to go.
The one I had right here was when Steiner picks up Pat Rose and he's on the top rope and Steiner just Samoan drops him, just timber. Boom.
Okay, that was the first Tokyo Dome show ever.
That was the first one?
And so here, I'll read the card. Liger, I'm bad with Japanese names. Aoyagi and Nagami defeated Hiro Saito, Super Strong Machine, and Honaga. Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko defeated O'Hara and Koshinaka in 12.5 minutes. Dusty and Dustin defeated Masa Saito and Kim Duke in 14 minutes.
I'm waiting on this Vader time if they have it.
Vader and El Gigante was a double DQ in 4 minutes and 49 seconds.
There you go.
4 minutes.
Luger
less than
Luger
5
defeated,
minutes.
Luger defeated Chono.
Sonny Chono.
And Sting and Muda defeated the Steiner brothers. I didn't read all the dark matches for the.
No, that's fine. Sting and Muda, that makes sense. I mean, it's Muda, so
but, yeah.
Put him over. Any thoughts on the Steiners and Parker and Rose?
No.
All right.
So where's the other State Patrol guy?
Somewhere.
I guess he's working in detail at Home Depot.
Maybe that or a truck stop or something. I don't know where he can't be there because Buddy Lee is tagging nonstop without him.
Sure.
So somebody's gonna tell me. Ben Martin, send me an email. Tell me where James Earl Wright is. We get a Frankensteiner to Buddy Lee Parker, and the Steiners win. Now, here is where we're going to get to the promo that I have been dying to play. Van Vader, Big Van Vader, and Harley Race.
Apparently, you and I have the same note.
God, I could. When I was watching it, I go, oh, God, this is going to be great. Just give it a listen. You'll hear it. When you hear it, you'll know. Let's go now to their promo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to World Championship Wrestling. Jim Ross back with you here at Center Stage. Before we see Big Van Vader in the handicap match, 1 man versus 2, I want you to hear some comments from Big Van Vader. He recently had a big altercation with El Gigante. Here are his comments.
I took one look. Just one look is all it took at this man right here. And I thought to myself, I took one man all the way to the world's title. Why not 2 men all the way to the world's tag team title? Visualize in your own mind. Think for a second if you're capable. This man right here, one of the largest human beings on earth, along with Mr. Hughes, you team this combination and you absolutely have to have the next World Tag Team Champion. This man right here, just the other night in Tokyo, Japan, steamed the giant. Woof, up it came. The giant rolled and cried and begged for relief. But this man gives no relief. Think about him and Mr. Hughes.
He gives no relief, man.
Hold on, one more time.
Kid stuff.
Hold on, one more time.
for relief, but this man gives no relief. Think about him and Mr. Hughes.
He says, Vader steamed the giant. And then he begged for relief. This man gives no relief.
Vader's not giving you a hand job in the Lincoln Continental because you having problems with your wife.
Sorry, Jaworski, but you're an idiot, but Vader is not giving you relief. Boy, is it fitting? It's just kid stuff. I mean, why is that his choice of words?
I don't know, but dude.
Go ahead.
Harley race at any point in his life saying the words Tokyo, Japan made it seem like the farthest away place on earth.
Pretty much. I agree.
You know, Asiatic Spike, Tour Japan, it sounded so mysterious and exotic, but Harley made it sound like it was on another planet, the way he pronounced it.
Yes. Relief.
The Asiatic Spike. It sounds so wrong now.
Why?
Asiatic? You can't say that anymore, huh?
Sure you can.
No, you can't.
Why not?
I don't think you can say that.
Asiatic. My
I
dad
think
used to say that.
Arn said the J word on one of his shows like a couple months ago. I was like, Jesus.
What?
He said JAPS. Like, I was like, Arn, it's like 2023. I don't know if you can say that these days.
Oh. Dude,
you can say something is Jewish.
But you can't say...
I think it's contextual.
Maybe. I'm not an expert on it, so I'm just going to leave it alone for now.
I don't want to say too many things because you'll clip it into take my words out of context.
Yeah.
Bruh. Well, some things that you can't take out of context is TC Carter and Denny Poston is taking on Vader. Watch this guy comes in the ring. Vader pulls his ass in, and then look what Vader does. He drops him like, fuck you, asshole. Look at how he tossed him.
Like he's a baby.
Yes, by his head and ears.
Looks like he's picking him up like out the bathtub.
That looks like me wrestling my children in a swimming pool.
Right.
Dude, Vader beat the piss out of these two dudes. I mean,
That's
he
what
whooped
he's supposed
them.
to do.
Whooped
the
them.
handicap.
Yeah. On commentary, Jim Ross says Vader tried to blind El Gigante with the steam. Didn't provide relief. Tried to blind him. God damn.
I feel like TC Carter's your favorite wrestler, Mike.
Well, let me go back to when they're introducing him because I wanted to get some commentary from Harper on his attire. Do you see this TC Carter guy?
Yeah.
Look at the gimmick. Look what can you explain?
Dated, isn't it? For 1992?
I mean, was it dated in 92? Look at him. Is he supposed to be a pimp?
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Looks like he's from Shaft.
Pimping don't go out of style, dude.
He's got a hat on with a feather in it and this lime green, light bluish paisley type pattern. I mean, he's gimmicked up, man. And he's got cowboy boots on, or at least it looks like it almost.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. So, but Vader beats the hell out of these two. He just demolishes them. Any thoughts on it, Doc, as Vader wins this thing?
It's impressive, but that's what it's designed to be.
Yeah, it was good. I'm not complaining whatsoever. He just beats the piss out of them. Like a Vader slam here. Look at this. Bam.
Bitch.
And then he's going to pin him. But he did pick that guy up by his ears, bruh. Double splash. 1, 2, 3. It's over. From there, they go, Doc, to a Clash 18 preview. We go to commercial where they're plugging the Clash.
One out of the park next week, fellas.
Well, we got to talk to Harper to see if he's going to be available because it's July 4th.
Oh, is it? That's next Tuesday?
Yeah, next Tuesday, July 4th.
Retroactively, do you have big July the 4th plans this year?
I don't know if I'm working.
Well, that'll answer the question if he can find out in between now and the end of the show, Doc.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the Clash is coming up It is going to be on January 21st, live Tuesday on TBS. They are showing the card. If you got the video version, you can see what the card is. We're going to break it down at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Get access to the Clash, Tales from the Territories reviews, Dark Side of the Ring reviews. All of that is available on Patreon. Oh, shocking. They can't spell Arn. What makes you think they're going to spell Zabisco right?
Zabisco ding.
I mean, Arn is spelled right here, but they've spelled it Arnie in the past, and of course, yes, they can't spell.
The top 10's a mess lately too, by the way, with the spelling.
And Ron Simmons is not in the top 10.
Well, then who is?
It's all messed up. It's a joke. Also, in addition to the Clash card that they're showing here before we go to commercial, they also show an ad for Super Brawl 2, which is coming up February the 29th, 1992. Sting versus Luger for the world title and Rude versus Steamboat for the U.S. title. So we got some good stuff to look forward to with that. Maybe not for Doc, but, you know. Well, all right, Doc, because you don't like Sting. And I don't want to spoil things for you, but maybe it's going to be Sting's night. We'll see. Next match, Cactus Jack and Abdullah the Butcher versus Z-Man and Brian Pillman.
They're back.
No.
Now, these guys are...
Fuck.
Go ahead, Harper. What are you about to say?
I wonder who wins this.
Well, Z-Man and Pillman are former U.S. tag champs. It's been a while, but it's very true. I got two timestamps, Doc. I can't with Z-Man, bro. I cannot.
Come on.
Do it. I can't with Z-Man, Doc.
He's not that bad.
Don't let Zoncha hear that.
He's not my favorite, and he's not what they wanted him to be. But you made it personal because of Zoncha.
No, I like Zoncha. Zoncha's my dude, man.
Zoncha's a good friend. Off air.
That's not true. Now you're just trying to be messy.
Something about an illiterate prick.
No, you say that about Jaworski.
Oh.
No.
You're like, man, how does he crank off so much? He can't even write or read. Like, well, that's why he cranks off a lot, because I guess he can't spend his time reading and writing.
I assume that every person I meet is illiterate until they prove me otherwise.
We know. Any thoughts on this match? All I wanted for Abdullah to do here was...
In this match, they caught Pillman body slamming Abdullah. They didn't miss it.
Unfortunately, I had the Z-Man in the match boring me to death. And I you know what I was thinking while I watched this? Seriously. I'm just sitting there waiting for Abdullah to get a fork.
There you go.
That did nothing for me. I still want Abdullah to pull a fork out and put it in Z-Man's forehead.
Come on.
Well, and my note here was, there was a time where Abdullah wouldn't have sold for either one of these guys.
Right.
Well, that's great and all, but I don't think Pillman's a pushover, and he ain't going to put up with Abdullah's shit either.
Okay.
And Z-Man's a hell of a wrestler.
Now, Z-Man, I could really see Abdullah just taking advantage of him.
He's got great charisma.
My God.
He can work the mic like fucking no one can.
Dude is like watching paint dry.
No.
He's patient because he spent his whole life in school waiting to say present because he's in the Z's. So, I mean, he's a good fella. He's a good fella. You're ridiculous with him. You have a personal grudge against a man who is no longer with us.
Oh, he
for
died?
no reason.
Yes, Tom Zink's been dead. He's been deceased.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away. Doc's trying to be funny, like I have a problem with him, but I don't have a problem with him as a person. He just bores me to death. Dude, Tommy Rich. I'd rather watch a Tommy Rich match than I would Z-Man.
That's because he's a Southern wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zink is a Northern wrestler.
All right. Doc, any thoughts before I go to the finish of this thing?
In a promotion with Van Hammer and Big Josh, Z-Man's not that bad.
Yeah, come on. He's got good physique. He's got a great smile.
Takes care of himself.
Yeah, he's got it
until he didn't.
Well, let's see. He died at 59 in 2017.
Yeah, he hadn't been deceased for long.
I think he was that old.
Bro, Z-Man Pillman takes the heat, and Pillman makes a hot tag. Z-Man comes in, he's on fire. Z-Man super kicks Abdullah 2 times. Abdullah doesn't fall. Z-Man puts Abdullah in a sleeper, but Cactus hits Z-Man in the back of the head with Abdullah's witch doctor stick. And then Abby pins Z-Man. And I was just like, thank God Z-Man took the pin here. But
right team won. Right guy got pinned.
There you go. Or else I'd have been, if Pillman would have took the pin here, I'd have been pissed. Talking about 30-year-old wrestling. I'd have been mad. Cancel WCW Network. The funny part about this is after they win, Cactus and Abdullah, they end up fighting up the aisle. So they're like brothers and don't get along after they win, I guess is what I'm saying. Any other thoughts, Doc, before I keep going and go to your favorite segment of the show?
Well, I guess for the Abdullah and Cactus, they're being as wild as they possibly can on a show for children.
That's fair. Speaking of fair, it's only fair that I play a Sting promo. He's coming out there with Marcus Bagwell. Let's hear from Sting and see what he's got to say.
I'll just interrupt you right now, Rossi, and tell you right now that my blood is boiling. It's boiling, Paulie, dangerously, because you and everyone with you, all of your punks, choose to break the rookie in just proper, didn't you? The kid just proper. Well, you know something? I was a rookie, and I was a kid, and I was broken in just proper also. So seeing as how the kid, the rookie, and the Stinger here have something in common, I think it's only proper that we issue a challenge to you or any two of your punks that want to take us both on in a tag team competition, because I'm once again in the mood to be broken in. Bagwell, come here. I want to talk to you for a second.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the challenge has been made. Apparently for next week's television broadcast, Sting and Marcus Alexander Bagwell against any two of the Dangerous Alliance. Now, in just a moment, we'll return to the ring to see Johnny B. Bad.
His fucking blood's boiling.
He's ready to be broken in.
Dude, that line popped me. I was like, whoa.
Push my shit in, Rossi. Toss my salad. Get me in the mood. Slap me in the face.
Get on top. If you get tired, I'll get on top. Whatever.
I'll take over.
I'll take over. You get tired, I'll take over.
I didn't realize Bagwell was that short because he's I think he's shorter than fucking Jim Ross.
Looks like he's about the same height, but Sting is tall though. Sting is not a short man.
Yeah. I'll give
he's
Sting
not
that.
6'8" or anything, but Sting's tall.
Yeah.
Doc, what did you think of Sting's promo?
That was awful.
Come on. That was
My
great.
blood's boiling. My blood's boiling.
His blood's boiling, Rossi.
I'm going to interrupt you, Rossi.
Just look at his eyes. Just look at his eyes. Here, just listen to this first part again.
And tell you right now that my blood is boiling. It's boiling, Paulie, dangerously, because you and everyone with you, all of your punks, choose to break the rookie in just proper, didn't you? The kid just proper. Well, you know something? I was a rookie, and I was a kid, and I was broken in just proper.
Look at his eyes. I play these because I know Doc hates them. That's the best part about them. It's like back in the day when I would cut off the Paul Ellering promos. Remember that?
Right. Yeah.
It would be that, and Paul Ellering was better than this. Promo wise, I don't know, man. I didn't realize Sting's promos just weren't as good back then. I mean, I guess like I always say for kids it was, but man, he did everything right there but howl at the end for Doc.
Come on. Sting's an icon.
He is. All right, look at the top 10. This is what I was talking about a second ago.
Okay, so hold on. Hold on. Pittsburgh has an H at the end.
Oh my God.
All right.
That's not how you spell consequences. Is it?
No, it's not.
It's missing a C.
Yeah.
Truth or consequences is how it's spelled.
Right.
Pittsburgh doesn't have the H. Zbyszko is spelled right. So here's the top 10. Vader is 10. Scott Steiner's 9. Zbyszko is 8. Dustin Rhodes is 7. Cactus is 6. Now we'll go to the rest of them. Rick Steiner is 5. Ricky Steamboat is 4. Steve Austin is 3. Sting is 2. And Ravishing Rick Rude is 1 because he's a U.S. champion. And of course, Lex is the world champion. Ron Simmons is not on that list. Now, El Gigante is also gone from that list, thank God. But Ron Simmons should be on that list ahead of Dustin Rhodes.
Right. I think so.
I mean, and you could argue, Sting's been a world champion. That's why he's 2 right here. And Austin is a TV champion. Like, I don't know. You kind of look at the top 5. I don't know. Maybe I move Rick Steiner out of the top 5. He's a tag team guy. But Ron Simmons certainly needs to be in this 10. Along with all of these misspellings. But that's WCW, so what do you expect, Doc?
How the fuck can you misspell shit like that? And no one fucking looks it over.
WCW?
That's fucking... Yeah.
They had no quality control. And the sad part is, like, you saw that in the territories all the time. All the time in the territories. Like misspellings. Ric Flair was misspelled. They misspelled Von Erich on Mid-South TV. Like there was... I can't remember how they exactly spelled it. E-R-I-C-K, I think. They would misspell names all the time. But yeah, it's not a national promotion. All of them seem to do it. But here we go.
I'm surprised this shit got on the air. Like, period. Like, they hit the power button and it, like, got loaded up.
Well, remember there's that one missing episode from, like, 90 or 91 that never made air. Like, it got lost. They aired the wrong show, like, again.
And it just never happened.
Well, it was taped to be aired, but it never made TV, yeah.
So it never
technically it never happened.
Thing ever?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's a lot of competition.
It's pretty bad.
There.
I mean, yeah, there's some competition there.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'll give you another one that y'all probably don't think of. There was a Saturday night. It was a Saturday night that Arn Anderson came back and made his re-debut at Center Stage. Yeah. We didn't even talk about it the week it happened, and I think we didn't talk about it because we knew he was coming back and we didn't want to spoil it. But there's an ad in the middle of that show of one of the house shows that they're doing that says Arn Anderson versus blah, blah, blah. It's like,
what?
Yeah, there's an ad. You know how they do the scroll where it says, hey, coming to Pittsburgh on blah, 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 blah. And then coming to such and such Pennsylvania, blah, 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 blah. And then Philly. Yeah, there's an ad that says, and on such and such, Arn Anderson and taking on you know who. It's like, bruh, the man ain't even re-debuted yet, and you're saying he's here? So, I mean, yeah, they did dumb shit like that, too. Speaking of something that's not dumb, I just love Johnny B. Bad. Look how he's walking. He's great.
He's got a lot going on here.
I like his
He's got
hat.
It's awesome. He is fantastic. He's got the women putting dollars in his garter. It's something to see in 1992, and he's taking on someone we haven't seen in some time, one of our Smoky Mountain Wrestling legends. Mark Kyle, Killer Kyle, is in the ring waiting on him. Johnny B. Bad puts some lips on a baby in the front row.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
that's
on.
nice. No,
That's
it-
real classy.
that's some good, wholesome baby face work.
Yeah, he didn't do anything crazy. It's a sticker. He just put it on the kid's cheek.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he did anything illegal. He shoots his cannon off in the crowd.
Oh.
I mean, his confetti cannon. Yeah.
He got some
Yeah.
relief.
Come on.
Well, if
Why-
Vader's not
why
going
do
to
you-
provide it, Johnny B. Bad will. Oh, God. Jim Ross says, call the wrestling hotline and you'll hear from some information about the NWA. Oh, call it up. See what they say.
Right.
He also says, kids, get permission from your parents before you call. Doc, anything you got from this match between these two? It's a quick one.
No, it was quick.
It literally goes like a minute. Bad knocks out Kyle and then puts some lips on Kyle's cheek, his
Yeah, that's
face,
nice.
not his ass cheek. And JR is going to interview Johnny B. Bad in a second after he knocks him out. But I thought this was interesting because before I go to the promo, how much, Harper, do you think Johnny B. Bad is weighing right now, just looking at him?
Good question.
About 250.
Okay. Doc, what do you think?
More than the division that you're about to talk about.
All right. So I'm with Harper. Harper nailed exactly what I have written down in my notes. I for sure think Johnny B. Bad is 250 pounds. I think you have to take a couple of, and I think you have to take a couple things into consideration. He's not a short man. He's also not a giant, but I'm guessing he's a good 6'2".
Yeah.
6 feet maybe at the shortest.
Yeah.
And he's not completely jacked like, he's roided up, but he's thick. He's got some mass. Well, I mean, he's not. When I say he's not jacked, I'm defining it by today's standards, where you see some of these monsters. I mean, he wasn't like the Road Warriors or Nikita when Nikita was jacked on roids, but he's thick. So just listen to what Johnny B. Bad has to say here when JR is interviewing him.
Using the left hook for another victory here at center stage. But I must ask you about the rumor. Are you going to pull weight and challenge Jushin Thunder Liger for the light heavyweight championship of the world?
Oh, hush, Jimmy. You and all my bad people out there know that Johnny B. Bad is going down to light heavyweight to take that belt back to America where it belongs.
It's 235 weight now. You weigh about 240. Can you pull up 5 pounds?
Jim, not only will I pull that weight down, I'll do it for myself and all these people because that belt is going to look so pretty around my waist.
All right, fans. Johnny B. Bad with a challenge. And Jushin Thunder Liger. Hope he has more success losing 5 than I have. Fans, we'll be back right after this timeout with more action from center stage.
Well, that's a really high weight for a light heavyweight. Range.
Black.
Dude, he does not look like a white man. He's if we can get off the
How is
if
he
looks
not
like,
black? I want someone to sit me down and explain to me, explain how he's not an African American male.
African American males.
dude, he looks like a brother. I mean, I don't know what to say.
It's so perfect though.
We don't have any real light heavyweights that we could throw at this, like, I don't know, Pillman,
Z-Man,
Z-Man, Morton, Terry Taylor.
It kills me when I hear like, oh, he's got to get down to 230 to be a light heavyweight. Like,
I thought that was like what, 220?
I mean, I don't even know the weight classes anymore. I used to know them, but yeah, that seems like that seems like you might be a little bit too much to be a light heavyweight. But I don't know, man. It doesn't really make sense. But the other part of it is, if you're gonna put logic to it, there's no way he's close to 230. I mean, Harper said 250. Maybe he's 240. I don't know. He looks jacked, man. Look at his traps right there.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, his chest, his shoulders. The dude's in good shape. And he's got muscle, man. He's no, it doesn't even look realistic. That's why I asked the question, Harper. It just.
Yeah.
But Johnny B. Bad is a brother. There's nothing white about this man, even though he is a white Italian, apparently.
You think he did his own makeup?
Yes.
I don't know. What's her?
The York Foundation was doing it.
Yeah, wasn't Terry Reynolds doing it back then?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I know she's on-air talent these days, but yeah, I thought she was back there doing makeup. So I don't know. He's got this gimmick nailed. Let's keep moving. We go to the Tailor-Made Man versus Greg Sawyer, and we haven't seen a picture-in-picture promo for some time, but we see one here. Taylor said, "Don't blink an eye. You'll see me dismantle another opponent," and he wasn't lying. It took like a minute or two, and he beats Sawyer with the 5-arm and pins him. Doc, any thoughts on this match, which was, again, we've had some really quick ones, and I get it. It's an hour episode. They're trying to get this shit in.
No, I mean, I would have had him beat somebody of a little bit more stature there, but okay.
Yeah.
I think you got to reestablish him, because I was trying to remember who he did a job to on a pay-per-view or Clash. But he did a job to somebody and he lost like instantly. So I think they're just trying to, it's almost like you got to rehabilitate him as a talent. So yeah, feed him Greg Sawyer or whoever and let him get some wins.
Okay.
That was my thoughts. But it was really quick with the 5-arm. And then from there, we go to the main event of the show. 6-man tag action. I actually hate this. Arn Anderson, Larry Zbyszko, and Rick Rude with Paul Lee and Medusa versus Dustin Rhodes, Ricky Steamboat, and Ron Simmons. Again, Ron Simmons not in the top 10, but out in this main event with some heavy hitters, which he should be. And it's actually got a nice reaction there. It gets close to the end. There was plenty of chance here that the crowd wasn't dead at all. Ron Simmons had Larry Zbyszko in a bear hug as we got towards the finish, and I don't know, I just thought the crowd was into it. Something as simple as a bear hug. And then Rude was doing some dick dancing when Simmons atomic dropped him, and no one sells an atomic drop like Rick Rude does. Crowd was really into this. I hate 6-mans when they just kind of throw them together, but I mean, I get it. There's the thing about it is we do care about the baby faces in this match versus not caring. So anyway, Doc, what did you have from this one?
Yeah, I feel like there's about 7, 8, 9 guys in this feud, and they should focus up a little bit on it because we have different matchups at the Clash.
Yeah, they're just kind of putting matches together to get to the Tuesday night Clash show at this point.
Yeah.
So you got this week and next week for the Clash.
I thought Larry was retiring. No?
He ain't got much longer. Like, from this point, he doesn't have much longer. I mean, like, he's, I say not much longer. Then somebody will say, oh, no, it's X amount of months. I mean, yeah, he ain't got much longer, dude. At least as I remember. Maybe he goes somewhere. Does he go somewhere else after this, Doc?
I think this is it.
Yeah. I think he goes to maybe backstage work and then eventually commentating, right?
Right.
Yeah, I remember when he did commentary. So watch this. Simmons here's the bear hug I'm talking about. Look at Larry sell it, which I thought was great. And then Rude comes in and breaks it. And then Simmons goes to give them a clothesline. Rude ducks it and dick dances. And then Ron's like, nope, atomic drop. And then look at Rude sell it, atomic drop. It's great.
Walking like he's got to take a shit.
Oh my God. This was the best part of the match. Like, and the fans were going absolutely nuts.
Fans were into this.
Yes, they loved it. They absolutely loved it, especially near the end. I rewound that and watched it like numerous times because Rick Rude and his atomic drop selling is second to none. Anything before we get to the finish, Doc?
No, I had that note too about his dick dancing and then he got snatched.
So Rhodes ends up in the ring near the finish and he is on fire. Face is on fire. Larry Zbyszko ends up being pinned by Dustin, but Eaton does a run-in and puts the Alabama Jam on Dustin, and Larry then hits Dustin with a brain buster. The heels end up powdering out of the ring, and we run out of time and go off air. you know, they really did wrap this thing up the right way. It was kind of a hot finish. Heels running in, things were hot, shit was hitting the fan, and we got to go off air because we're out of time. And I always liked when they did that back in the day because it felt exciting and it wasn't just a dull wrap up at the end. Doc, any other closing thoughts before we go to rate it and hand out some Rolexes?
I'm with you that I'm not the biggest fan of throwing together six men's, but this was a good match, and these guys were getting after it, and I enjoyed it.
I hated it when I first started looking at it, and I was like, "This is good." They're out there working their asses off, and it also
good.
matters when the fans are into it too.
Yeah,
praise be to Allah.
Yep, and you're right. That is a good way to end it. You get the baby faces got the win, then the heels get some heat. I don't know. I just thought this was good. So on that note, we got to rate it and hand out some Rolexes. Before we do that, I'm sorry, Toot Toot Award, since Ric Flair isn't here. Doc, what are you going to rate it?
Well, it was an hour.
Oh, and God, it was.
Yeah. And that's so easy to like really put together a good show with this much talent on the roster.
If you think about it, the first match was long. Long. First match was a time limit draw, Austin and Bagwell, and then all the matches in between were like really quick, but they all made sense.
But think about this. We used to talk about Saturday night being all squash matches. We had this 6-man. We had Bagwell and Austin, and we had Pillman and Zink versus Abdullah and Cactus. Give me an A for this.
Harper, you want to rate it too?
I give it an A. It was an hour long. Perfect.
I'm going to give it an A as well. And before we give
when you're a husband and a father, you can suffer through anything for an hour.
Boy, you ain't lying about that. so then, before we hand out the Toot Toot Award, remember, the only way you can listen to the Clash of the Champions review from Clash 18. Yes, we are approaching the 18th Clash that we've done. All the others are on Patreon from 1 to 17, along with the WCW pay-per-views as well. Become a patron member of ours at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. The only place you can listen to the Clash reviews, the WCW pay-per-view reviews, and so much more on Patreon, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Doc, who are you going to give your Toot Toot Award to? This is hard.
I'm going to go with Brian Pillman for getting his slam of Abdullah on camera this time.
Okay, well, that wasn't his fault that the slam didn't get on camera last time.
I'm aware of that, but he's getting his love now for that.
That's right.
Harper, who do you want to give your Toot Toot Award to?
It's never too late to find love, Mike.
Okay. Harper, who are you giving your Toot Toot Award to?
I give mine a Harley.
Bruh,
he ain't giving out relief.
I hate you. You stole my thunder.
I didn't steal shit.
Harley is getting the Toot Toot.
You stole his relief.
I stole his relief.
Harley's getting the Toot Toot. Bro, Harley was tremendous. First off, we didn't even play the first one because I was like, nah, I can't play the first one. We got to get to the second one. He killed me when he said Vader's not giving you relief, Gigante. That was great. And then he didn't even say, he said Vader steamed him. Like he's a fucking crab leg or some shit.
That shit was funny too.
He steamed him. I neglected to say, though, too, that in the next match, Jim Ross was talking about Vader tried to blind Gigante, and JR even said that Gigante had some damage to the left eye, so Vader steamed his left eye.
What an asshole.
Like he's a crab or something, man. What are we doing here? What is he, a lobster? We're steaming him now? Yeah, I got to go with Harley, man, because he's not providing, he said Vader is not providing relief, and I don't know if it gets any better than that. So there's that.
You know what's fucked up? I'm sitting here watching Jaws 3 still.
Come on. Jesus Christ.
This is supposed to be in SeaWorld.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
And why would SeaWorld think it would be a good idea to associate themselves with this movie where everything breaks down and a park goes haywire and there's a killer shark fucking eating people at their fucking theme park.
It's like people didn't think things through back then, Harper.
Never.
It's not a
but
good
it was.
look.
Wait a minute. Nobody thought anything through, but everything was airtight.
That's always the thing. Like, well, you ever think about
Y'all
that?
still there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
It's coming. I can
What?
feel it. Deep State Harper's.
Deep State Harper's got to be on the
warming
way.
up at the
Whenever you go,
bullpen.
y'all still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you. But no, it's true, Harper. Like, you can't. Everybody likes to always think that everything was so great and good when it came to entertainment back then, and then you watch it now and you're like, this is horrible.
It's like if it was like Disney World and like Mickey Mouse turns out to be a serial killer, the guy in a costume, and then someone goes flying off the fucking roller coaster on Space Mountain and people die. Like, how is that good fucking advertising for your fucking theme park?
He's
not wrong.
No.
He's not wrong at all.
Mr. Marketing over there gets it right again.
That's right, damn it.
We need to get you an honorary marketing degree from Delgado, and then also have you win the Excellence of Execution Award.
I don't know how he doesn't already have the honorary doctorate associates from Delgado. You know what they call it in Louisiana when you live in South Louisiana? Delgadoo you.
What?
Okay, it's spelled Delgado, D-E-L-G-A-D-O.
It's spelled Delgado because it is Delgado.
Right? And it's pronounced Delgado, but back when I was younger, people would make fun of it because it was a 2-year university, and they would say Delgadoo you.
I never heard that before, Michael.
Oh, bullshit. You've heard that before.
No.
That's because you're from Metairie. You Metairie guys just don't hear shit, man. Y'all live in dreamland. There was that white flight thing out of New Orleans in the 70s and 80s, and y'all just all the white people went to Metairie and Kenner to get away from the city. Yes, that's exactly what happened. And it's a fact. White flight happened, and you never heard Delgadoo you because of that.
Okay. I guess
because I heard that shit nonstop.
Destroyed now.
It is. Oh man.
I was fucking deprived.
Where are we going with this show, Doc? We're almost done here.
To the straight to the end of the sun.
So before we get out of here, if you haven't already done so, or maybe you got one and it's time to get a new one, Hardbody Harper is still doing those video shout-outs, life advice, relationship advice. All you got to do is email him, ChrisHarper16, Wildcat with a K at gmail.com. Tell him in that email what you want in your video, and then make sure you PayPal him $20 to cc30388cc at yahoo.com.
You sound
If you didn't hear it, yep, he just walked in. If you didn't hear it the first time, go hit rewind or look at the show description and you'll see it there. Doc, anything else before we wrap this puppy up and ride off on the Kawasaki Mule or whatever we're doing?
Mike, the forecasted high tomorrow is 105.
Jesus
it's going to feel
Christ.
like 111.
I mean,
that's how it is here, dude. It's just stupid fucking hot, bro.
And that's the coolest feels like temperature of the 3 days. Today was 113.
God
I mean,
damn, bro.
I was say, what's the difference between tomorrow and what it was like today?
It's fucking June, dude. I can't do this till September, Mike.
Shit, till fucking October.
That too, Harper.
I don't know what you want me to say. I mean,
I need help. I need relief.
I need relief too.
And it's not that kind of relief. I just need you to come over here and
I'll take some. Fuck it.
No, I just need you to cool me off with a palm frond, blow it like a fan on me or something.
I will give Jaworski your phone number. That way he can set up a relief session for you. How's that sound?
A virtual relief session.
I mean,
over
sure.
Zoom.
Sure. I mean, does that sound good for you?
No, I don't. I'm gonna pass on that.
I'm sure he would be glad to provide you some relief.
Come on.
What?
I don't like the unclassy turn this has taken.
And he reached over.
No. Stop it.
I reached over and
Control
provided him. What did he say, Harper?
I reached. He says, oh, "God, dude, how's
What
it
did
go?"
he say? I reached over and
I
provided
relieved
him
him in the form of masturbation.
Jesus.
It's just kid stuff. I own a flower shop too. Just my first time doing this.
Everyone is either stupid, dirty, or just evil.
See that he was sexually aroused. He says, "Oh, can you give me some relief?" We were laughing, and he said, "Oh, Bob, it's just kid stuff, and I've got to have relief." So I was dumb enough to reach over and relieve him in an act of masturbation. I did the worst thing I've ever done. As far as
He just talked him into it.
Right.
breaking the trust and the fidelity that I had with my wife.
Harper, one thing before we get out of here. I'm going to share my screen so you can see this fool's reaction when he licks his lips and shit. and he starts with his hands like he's T-Rex. Here it is. Can you see it, Harper?
Yeah.
Here it comes.
We were laughing, and he said, "Oh, Bob, it's just kid stuff, and I've got to have relief." So I was dumb enough to reach over and relieve him in an act of masturbation. I did the worst thing I've ever done. As far as
He's about to break down. He licks his lips again.
What are you going to do? He just talked me into it.
breaking the trust and the fidelity that I had with my wife.
Mind tricks on his ass. You will.
These are the balls. These are the balls you're looking.
Almost gonna pass out. He's gonna pass out over there. What is wrong with us?
What is wrong? What happened?
We are laughing at. This is one of this man's most painful moments in his life, and we are laughing.
Right.
This guy stupided his way into so many painful moments.
Bro,
that was his fucking submarine Titanic moment.
Well, at least he didn't give his life for it.
Well,
he turned his daughter over to this fella too.
Well, that's the part about this that's so ridiculous is we're laughing at this man's ridiculous moment here. But
still looking for.
Harper's gonna choke over there. But I mean, as I continued to watch this, I thought it was the most ridiculous thing ever. But the moment that it really got ridiculous was even past this one.
The alien shit.
The alien shit just put it over the top. I was like, this is the most ridiculous shit almost I've ever heard of in my life. There's another one out there, Our Father or something, Harper. Have you seen that one? No. On Netflix, it's this doctor who was inseminating all these women, and I don't know, he's got like 60-something kid. Bruh, it is insane. I walked in with my wife and mother-in-law watching it, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Another abducted in plain sight, except it's this artificial insemination person.
Making fun of white people again.
Did he fucking kick this off?
What?
Well, we don't have Netflix anymore. They fucking kicked this off because we're piggybacking off our moms.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
so fuck 'em.
Okay. Yeah, it was definitely some white people stuff. All right. Well, I think it's I think it's time for us to get out of here, and we're not providing any more relief.
Bring Han Solo and the balls to me.
Damn. Let half pint go.
You relieve your master well. You will be rewarded.
Any other thoughts, Doc, before we get out of here?
I don't know what else to say.
Harper, hit the tagline.
Relieve it, bitch.